My name is TJ Hesberg, and my son Matthew is an 18-year-old with Down syndrome.
Would you say that Matthew is aware of his Down syndrome?
Yeah, in the last year, trying to remember when it kind of like hit me that this is something that needs to be addressed, because he very much was opposed to having anything to do with special education. He did not want to go to the resource room. He did not want to be with the other kids that had disabilities. Mm-hmm. He only wanted to be mainstreamed, and he's on the high school swim team. He's in the high school show choir. And his brothers were a part of all that too, so it was just like this nice natural segue. About a year and a half ago, this Full Circle, the campus community resource, kind of beyond transition stages, past high school until age 26, was having a fundraiser. And each of the special ed classrooms, resource rooms, were putting together a number for the show. And he refused to have anything to do with it with his special ed program in high school. He said, "Mom, I'm a South singer. If I'm going to be in that show, I'll be with the show choir." And they at that time were scheduled to be there. So I said, okay, that's fine. I mean, I didn't know what to do at that point to push it. And it's always been, you got to be kind to everybody. I almost felt like he was being judgmental of everybody else. Those kids with special needs is what he would say very often. It's like, okay, you do too, honey, And so it hurt. It was kind of hurting because he did not love a part of and who he was, a part, Mm-hmm. And so it was like, how do we get him to move in and feel good about having Down syndrome? Because it should not hold him back. It should not be something that he sees as a handicap. So what would have happened is that the whole Full Circle show ended up being on homecoming night. And so the show choir was singing the national anthem at the football game, and so they were not going to be performing. And so that meant he wasn't performing at all because he wouldn't do it with his class. So I said, well, we're still going to support this event. So we got there, and the little kids got on stage, the elementary school kids, and I bet half the class had Down syndrome, and he melted. He's like, oh, look at how cute. And it was his old teacher that was, running that class, and I'm like, that's how we're going to get you. So the next year, he started volunteering in that classroom, and he loved all the kids. It was awesome. And then last semester, that was his job. It was like a workplace learning environment. So from noon to 3 every day, he would go over there and he would work with reading and play math games and watch them on the playground. So it was pretty cool that he started seeing them and not really even seeing the Down syndrome and loving them, and I really do feel like that gave him that little self-love too,
Yeah.
And then we went last July, we went to the National Down Syndrome Congress in Indianapolis, and he went to the conference for the young adults, and I went to the parents, and so he spent the whole day, and he was amazed at how many people in the world have, obviously they're not all there, but there were, I don't know how many thousand maybe people. He's like, Mom, there's so many people with Down syndrome, but it was so cool because he was with all these, 10 other people at his table. All the presenters have Down syndrome, mm-hmm. and so they were teaching everybody how to use different apps and how to do different cooking techniques, and he saw them then in leadership roles, and he was like, this is cool. So, that's why I'm excited for him to be on a college campus with peers in, cognitive peers, I guess, as far as the disability is concerned, but also chronological peers to just kind of feel good and keep up and learn how to stand up for himself and realize that, yeah, some things are going to be tough and challenging, but if I ask for help, I know somebody can help me out with it.